What's up, guys, and welcome to week 7 of Thriftin on 20. We're just gonna go ahead and get into it. So, where did I go? I think me and my grandma went to Goodwill in Huntsville, and I picked up a copy of Beekman's World on DVD. I picked up a Taylor Swift holiday CD. I picked up a Walt Disney World Vacation Planning VHS. Also at that Goodwill, I picked up a Happy Birthday Bugs 50th birthday glass from Goodwill, that same Goodwill. That was 99 cents. Then I picked up a Country Bears Big Al mug. Big Al, yeah. That was $1.99, and it sells on eBay for about $15 to $20 plus shipping. I just don't want to ship glass for the most part, so I put that in the booth at $15. Hopefully it will sell. I also picked up a Baby Looney Tunes bowl, like a little plastic Zack Designs bowl from the 90s. That was 99 cents. And probably the coolest find from that Goodwill, I found an Alf mug, and I'm pretty sure it's German, but I sent a picture over to Josh, JCA99, and he said that he wanted it. And I told him it was part of the van challenge, but if he wanted it, I'd take $5 for it. He said he'd give me $5 for it, so we got $5 for that mug. That one sold instantly. And then we went to another Goodwill in Madison where I picked up an Up hat from the Disney Pixar movie Up. It's, what's that kid's name? Wilson or Rufus?
Good afternoon. My name is Russell.
I don't remember. But it's that kid's hat from Up, the Wilderness Explorer's hat. Also, on that day, we went to America's Thrift Store and I found a Pokemon DS case, and it's from Pokemon Sun, I believe. We picked that up for $2.99. The Up hat was $1.99. But when we left off last week, we had $97. After spending all that money, we were down to $84.49. So we got home and got all that stuff listed, and we started making sales again. Austin actually bought the bracelet, the Hello Kitty bracelet that I picked up for 10 cents. He bought that and the Hello Kitty bag we got at the Goodwill bins. He gave me $5 for those for his girlfriend. So there was another $5. That brought us up to $89.49. And then we sold the $1 Million Duck DVD we picked up. That sold for $4.55 after fees. That brought us up to $94.04. Then we sold the Treasure Planet VHS. Remember, we paid 50 cents for that. It sold for $8.41 after fees, bringing us back over $100 to $102.45. So I'm hoping we can stay over $100 from now on. That would be ideal. So then we sold that Lego figure that was missing the arm. That sold for $8.50 after fees, bringing us up to $110.95. When we left off last week, I told that I ran those G.I. Joes in an auction and they sold for $15. Well, that seller, for whatever reason, and I haven't ranted about it. I've been incredibly irritated about it, but I haven't like publicly spoke about it. But it really irritated me. They bid up to $15. And when you're bidding on something, it tells you what the shipping will cost. So it sold for $15 plus shipping. They messaged me and said, shipping seems a little high. Well, it's calculated shipping, so I can't make it any less. That what it tells you is what it's going to charge you like. And so it was over £1, so it was going to get charged at £2. USPS Ground Advantage. So I think it was around $9 for them. And even when the G.I. Joes were listed at $30, I had like 4 or 5 watchers on it. So they were getting a good deal. But I don't guess it was good enough, so I told them that I wouldn't cancel it or change the shipping price because they saw it when they were bidding on it. So they got irritated and wanted to cancel it, so I canceled it. I was like, whatever, I will throw it back up on eBay for $15. Hopefully it sells. And I didn't want people to see that and think that I was doing something sketchy when the buyer was doing that crap. So I felt bad about having to relist it again. So I priced it at $15, and somebody sent me an offer of $12, and I accepted it, and we got the G.I. Joes out the door. I think that was the last. We still have some like other figures that were in that bag that were like the core, I think that's the other like Dollar General brand of G.I. Joes. But they still have like a little bit of value, but those are listed. I think that's all we have left from the original purchases we made from the first store, episode 1. Anyways, off topic of that, those G.I. Joes, I told you I accepted an offer of $12. They sold for $12, which was $10.20 after fees. That brought us up to $121.15. On Saturday, I went to some yard sales, and I spent $20 and got a box bin full of DVDs, and I got a box full of 8-tracks. So I counted the whole $20 we spent, even though most of the movies, like all but two I think, got put on eBay. Some books that were in that movie bin got listed, but mainly the 8-track. So we spent $20. It was $10 a box. They wanted everything gone. But that's what we got from yard sales. The yard sales I went to in Madison were not great. It was Rogersville where I ended up finding some stuff. That's where I got these. But the 8-tracks, I've already sold one lot. We'll get to that in a little bit. But the one that's still listed is like classic rock. There's Alice Cooper. I can't remember if Leonard Skinner's in that lot or was in the other lot. But ZZ Top, Rolling Stones, The Who, a bunch of classic rock 8-tracks. So then me and my dad went to Dog Day, and we did pretty well. So I bought a lot of PlayStation 2 games.
Just picked up a bag full of games for $30. Not too bad, not too bad.
But most of them weren't worth putting on eBay. So I took however many games we got. We spent $30. Did the math, and it came out to $1.66 per game. So there was only one game worth listing on eBay. And so it was Need for Speed Underground for the PS2. So take off $1.66 for that game. Then at another booth, I found a Nintendo Switch dock, and that guy wanted $3 for it. It was a Switch OLED dock. So we picked that up, and then another seller had a Harry Potter board game. And I didn't check it before I left. I should have. The box is in really good condition. But I got home and checked it out, and all it had was the base. And the base worked. So I described what it is inside and stuck it in the booth for $5. So hopefully it'll sell for $5. I think it's worth like more than that to put it on eBay. So I just didn't want to ship something that bulky for $10. After spending that at Dog Day, that brought us down to $95.49. So, getting on to the sales, we sold the So Steady base. That sold for $23.80 after fees. That brought us up to $119.29. Then we sold the Ring Collection, and this you're gonna be like, why'd you sell it for that much? Remember, we only paid $25 for these movies that we got at Dog Day. So after fees, the Ring Collection sold for $1.70. I'm not that mad about it. I mean, was it worth my time? Maybe not, maybe. That's up to you to decide. We still almost like 7 times our money. Then we sold the Critters Collection for $1.28 after fees. That one hurt a little bit more. That brought us up to $122.27. After that, we sold that Alf mug to Josh. That brought us up to $127.27. Then we sold the first 8-track lot. and it sold for $12.75 after fees. I think I listed it for $40, and somebody sent me an offer of $15, and I was like, that's more than we paid for the whole box, so we'll do it. Then we sold Final Fantasy Tactics PS1. That put us in the green from the pawn shop me and Rusty went to, where we got all those video games. We've already sold Bloody Roar. I think that and this one are the only two that we've sold. But it sold for $12.24 after fees, bringing us up to $152.26. Then we sold the second copy of the Substitute we've gotten, and it sold for $5.35 after fees, bringing us up to... Editing Dustin here. I forgot to add the Switch dock sold, and that is going to continue to the next clip. You don't have an update on what we did after the Substitute because I forgot. I skipped one. But the Switch dock, that is where we're going to be. $170.36. Then the last sale that we have this week is the Sonic Dreamcast case. Yeah, those are words. I just said them. It sold for $11.90 after fees, bringing us up to $182.26. But yesterday, me and Rusty went out, and I spent some money. I also spent a little bit this morning, but we'll get to that. So yesterday when me and Rusty went out, we went to Goodwill in Athens, and we went to a Goodwill in Decatur, and America's Thrift Store. So these are going to be scattered. I'll try to remember which ones came from where, but I just put them in here as the order that I listed them on eBay. So from the Goodwill in Decatur, for $1.99, we picked up a Hercules shirt from Disney World. And yeah, I think that's listed for $16. For some reason, the extra larges are worth more than like 2XL and stuff. I don't know. Anyways, from the Value Village next to our antique booth, I picked up a bag of Wii controllers, and it has the steering wheels. That was $8.99. Then at America's Thrift Store, I picked up a vintage, like either late 80s or early 90s, color blocked Prince tennis bag. It's pretty dope, but I don't play tennis, so. Anyways, that was $4.99. Then at Athens Goodwill, if you remember the brand Big Dogs, like the clothing brand, they had shirts that said Big Dog, had a dog on the front of it, and had some graphic on the back. I found a football for that, which is weird. It's made by Rawlings, but it was $3.99, and I could not find any comps. So I shot the moon, and I listed it for $50. But if you want it, send me an offer. I'll probably accept it. Also at Athens Goodwill, we picked up a Mickey Mouse plate from the 90s. That was $1. And we also found a 1994 Hello Kitty plate. That was also $1. And then at Athens Goodwill again, we found a tech deck that is Santa Cruz and Jason Jesse. It was $1.99. All the ones listed on eBay were like over $40, and they had watchers, so I listed mine at like $25. It's already got a watcher, and I sent an offer, but it hasn't sold yet. Then also at the Value Village on the ground, there was a big green pew pew case. I don't know what I'm allowed to say on YouTube, so I'm trying to cover myself, but you guys know what it is, hopefully. It's a pew pew case. And I looked up like a quick comp, and one sold for $50 plus shipping. And then when I listed it, I found another one that was in the exact same condition that sold for like $122 plus shipping. So I threw mine up for $100, and we'll see where that goes. I don't know. We got it for $13. We also, for $5, found a early Jordan era basketball board game, if you want to call it a board game. It's kind of like the little hoops game from when I was a kid. You had like a little catapult and you shot it up into the basket. If I can find an ad, I'll put it here. But it has Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, and Michael Jordan on the box. So that was pretty cool. For $5, it goes for between $25 and $30. We also, at the Goodwill Indicator, I found something I thought looked odd. So I Google image searched it, and it's actually a juicer plunger that we got for 99 cents. And if you buy them from the people, they're like $21 and probably plus shipping. So I threw mine up for like 15 plus shipping. We get an offer for it, I don't care, I'll accept it. If you have that juicer and you need a new plunger, I got one. That brought us down to $139.34, but I didn't stop. I went out this morning, and the main reason I went out this morning was because I wanted to find an Astro and see how I fit in it. Because, I mean, I'm a large feller. I'm 6'7" and almost 300 pounds. So, I want to see how I'm going to fit in an Astro. And if I don't fit in it well, I'm going to have to figure out a way to either extend the rails or just move the seat back. Because, like, my knees are rough on me. I used to have a Tacoma, but it started hurting my knees so bad I had to get a bigger truck. That's why I have a GMC Sierra now, but that thing never hurts my knees. Anyways, I went to the junkyard to see if I could find an Astro to sit in, see how it felt, how I liked it. Couldn't find an Astro. What I did find was a bunch of car parts. And I know that this channel isn't really geared towards car parts, but I enjoy going to the junkyard. So I figured, we're trying to get a van, why not get some vehicle parts? Because you can make a lot of money at the junkyard. So I spent $10 and I got all this stuff you're seeing on screen. All that right there. And to the average person, you're probably like, cool, that's stupid. But no, it's not. Everything that you see on the screen right now is listed on my eBay store for over $300, and we paid $10. So, and that's going off sold comps. So, say what you want to. I like going to the junkyard and finding stuff. But after spending that $10, that brought us down to $129.34. So, overall for this week, I had a lot of fun. I'm kind of dreading the weeks coming forward because I have to swap back to my old shift and I have to work 3 weekends in a row. But we are working towards leaving my full-time job to do eBay and YouTube full-time and have the booth also, but that's what I'm working towards, and I'm hoping for around May being able to do that. And this challenge right here is what's kind of motivating that and keeping me going. So if you do enjoy this series, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me out, and it helps people like you see these videos. So if you've made it this far, you obviously either learned something or liked the video. So why not hit the subscribe button? But yeah, let me know what you thought. What was your favorite find from this week? If you're interested in any of it, my eBay store is linked down below. You can send me a message on Instagram. We can do a deal outside of eBay. But yeah, if you're local to me, just tell me. I'll sell it to you cheap. But as long as we make profit, I don't really care. Like you've seen what I sold to Josh and Austin for. But yeah. Anyways, guys, that's it for this video. I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had a little fun along the way. If you did, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you next time.
So, let's rate this, shall we? On a scale of 1 to 10, with 10, don't even waste your money, and 10 being, oh my God, so good. I'm going to give this, man, I was impressed. Better than I thought it was going to be. I would give it a 91.